around as roads became impassable. This is not the first time Grogan has experienced such flooding. Locals says the situation has become frequent whenever heavy rains hit the city, raising concerns about drainage and urban planning.
Maji yenyewe iliingia kitu kama saa 4:30. So hapo ndio maji ikajaa. Ilipita level ilikuwa last week. Ilibeba zizi kuna makontena, kuna hizi go down penye tunawekanga magari tukisapiga rangi, tunaweka gari kwa go down. Hapo go down imejaa maji.
Wanataka tuame hapa na kwa sababu ya mvua ama wanatuhamisha na lengo lingine tujue. Kwa sababu si ati kila siku tunaamuka ni hasara. Kila siku tunaamka ni hasara.
Huyu jamaa alitoka na hizi gari Bungoma akileta hapa ipigwe tu rangi alafu aende naye. Sasa kutoka hapo mvua imekuja, imeharibu kama tumeshafanya preparation. Tena ndio hii ingine. Sasa vile naweza sema juzi kwa magari 3. Sasa nashindwa vile naweza ongea.
Lipa mia nani daily na kazi utaki kujua umeuza hujauza, itaki kujua lazima ulipe. Na usipolipa wanabeba kitu yako.
That story was on Saturday 14th about the rains. Now, moving on, a growing dispute over the management of Nairobi Hospital has intensified following the arrest of 2 senior officials, veteran Dr. Job Obwaka and the hospital's deputy board chairman Samson Kinyanjui were taken into custody and are currently being held at Muthaiga police station. Their lawyers have strongly criticized the arrest, claiming that authorities have failed to provide official documentation outlining the charges against the 2 men. Meanwhile, pressure is mounting from professional bodies. The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, KMPDU, and the Law Society of Kenya, LSK, have warned that they will organize demonstrations if the 2 are not released.
That a doctor get abducted at his place of work while he's seeing the patient. He left mothers there in a very bad status.
To snatch up a 79-year-old man from his place of work. This is a man who has been serving this country in various capacities for the last 50 years all across the country. He has no criminal history. He is not a flight risk. He is not a danger or a threat to anybody.
Whoever arrested Dr. Obwaka has to make him to be released before the midnight today. Otherwise, we're going to ask every doctor that you are not safe in your clinics tomorrow. You are not safe at your place of work, and we must stand against an injustice.
And both in the case of Mr. Kinyanjui and Dr. Obwaka, they have been arrested despite the fact that they exist in court orders. So this is a manifestation of impunity and violation of the rule of law that we really deplore. I think that the doctors are completely justified in taking any action they will take to withdraw service.
It is indeed a sad story for the 2 men. Now, the government has issued a flood alert in Tana River County as heavy rains continue to pound the region. Residents living in flood-prone areas have been advised to move to safer ground to avoid possible disasters. Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku warned locals against attempting to cross swollen rivers and damaged bridges, emphasizing that lives are at serious risk. Weather forecasts indicate that rainfall may continue in the coming weeks, raising concerns of further flooding. Speaking in Ola after distributing relief food, Ruku announced that disaster response management committees have been established in every sub-county to ensure quick action during emergencies. He added that the relief food will support families facing hunger during the holy month of Ramadan, even as floods continue to affect several parts of the country.
Inaonekana kona tofauti ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tunaendelea kutoa wito kama serikali. Watu wote ambao wako maeneo ambayo inaweza pata mafuriko kama hapa Tana River, huko Garsen na kona ile ingine, jameni tujihadhari na mafuriko. Parapara zile ambazo zimejaa maji, mandaraja ambayo imefurika, tujihadhari tusinje tukafuka hiyo mandaraja kwa miguu, kwa gari, kwa mbonda ama kwa kupepwa kwa mgongo na wale ambao wanasema wao ni hodari wanaweza fuka hata kama mto imefurika.
Na ile chakula ambayo imefika hapa itawatosha takriban kila mtu hapa anaweza kutoka na kilo 10 za mchele na kilo 10 za maharagwe. Hiyo ndio calculation ambayo tumefanya. Na hiyo itawasaidia wakati wa Ramadhani.
And a different story, families who lost relatives in the Malaha road accident along the Webuye-Kitale road in Bungoma County have received 13.5 million shillings to help cover funeral and medical costs. The funds were raised during a fundraiser at Sipala Secondary School in Webuye East constituency, presided over by National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula. President William Ruto contributed 7.5 million, while the Speaker and a group of members of Parliament raised an additional 2 million. Wetangula announced that a joint interdenominational memorial service would be held on Monday in Webuye town for the 16 victims who lost their lives. Leaders and the event also called for urgent road safety measures along the busy and direct Malaba highway to reduce the rising number of accidents.
Mtu kama amekuwa mgonjwa kwa mwezi, kwa miezi, kwa mwaka, anatayarisha familia, wanakaa wakijua atapona hatapona. Lakini hao wametoka kwenda kutafuta ajira, kutafuta riziki, jioni mnaambiwa mtu wenu ameenda.
Cha muhimu ni lazima ya kwamba tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba tunakuwa na emergency centers na disaster management katika kila county, ili kukitokea kama janga kama hilo tunatenga fedha za kutosha kuhakikisha kwamba hizo centers zinakuwa managed to attend to emergencies, kwa sababu nina imani ya kwamba kama wale ambao walipata majeraha wangekuwa attended.
Nairobi Senator Sifuna visited the home of Zabra Mathenge to address concerns over politically motivated attacks targeting former Cabinet Secretary Raphael Tuju. The senator noted that the ongoing legal and financial challenges facing Tuju, who previously served as Jubilee Party Secretary General, appear to be aimed at punishing him for his political stance and efforts to mobilize the Ameru community under the Linda Mwananchi movement. He urged the government to respect democratic dissent and caution against using private debt cases to settle political scores, especially with the 2027 general elections approaching.
Wameingililia hata vijana wetu wanashikwa, wazee pia wanashikwa. Mzee mmoja ambaye ni board member wa Nairobi Hospital jana, familia yake naijua, wananipigia simu usiku, baba yao amechukuliwa mpelekwa police station kwa sababu ile mzozo iko pale Nairobi Hospital, a private dispute. Polisi wameingililia kwa nini? Kujaribu ku-intimidate watu kwa sababu kuna wakora wanataka kuchukua hiyo hospitali inaitwa Nairobi Hospital. The same thing na wanafanya na mali ya Mheshimiwa Raphael Tuju. Kama baba angekuwa, hii vitu haingekuwa inafanyika. Walingoja baba akufe wakaanza kufukuza marafiki yake. Na ndio kwa maana mimi Mheshimiwa Madenge, kwa sababu mimi ndio SG, mimi ndio niko na register ya marafiki wa Raila. Mukiniita na nataka kuashua all friends wa Raila, because I know and I saw what you did for that mzee, kumfikisha mahali alifika. I will never abandon you. I want to assure you that. I will never abandon you.
Residents and leaders in Busia County have expressed mixed reactions ahead of the expected visit by William Ruto, who is set to launch several development projects. Speaking to journalist UDA County Coordinator George Ogando and other leaders from the region urged the politicians to use the projects for personal political gain, but to ensure they benefit local residents. Ogando also noted that the Busia has lagged behind in development for years, blaming persistent political divisions for slowing progress in the region.
Kwamba tena rais wa nchi William Samoei Ruto ameamua kutembelea Busia kuanzia Jumatatu. Tutaanzia kule Budalangi ambapo atakuwa anazindua ile barabara ya Mundere Mumba Kasio Port Road ambayo itakuwa inawekwa tarmac. Alafu pia atazindua ile soko ya Budalangi ESP market. So mimi nataka tu kusema kama Busia tunajivunia katika hii broad based government kwamba miradi yetu ile ilikuwa imekwama. Najua tuna vitu mingi, unajua kama hujawahi kuwa kwa serikali unafikiria tu ni normal way kukosa miradi. So I want just to say sisi tunashukuru katika hii mambo yetu ya broad based, at least tunaona mabarabara yetu, infrastructure yetu, tuko na zaidi ya masoko 14 ambayo inajengwa. Ile Abumale imekwisha lakini itakuja kufunguliwa baadaye.
Viongozi wetu tafadhali, mambo ya siasa tusiingize siasa sana, mambo ya ubinafsi sana, ili mradi unapozinduliwa unaangazia maslahi yako badala unufaishe wengi. Hiyo hesabu hatutaki rais akuja afanye hivi anapoenda, badala sisi tushangilie, miongoni mwetu tunabaki tena tunadalama. Hatutaki hivyo. Kwa hivyo rais, nakuomba kwa heshima, this is a very delicate moment, kuja waanzisha hizi miradi ili kufikia mwaka ujao mwezi wa 6. Hii miradi iwe imeisha, na ikishaisha hii miradi itakufanyia marketing hata kushinda hii mikakati ingine ya kisiasa yenye iko. Hii ndio
Kiaru, Member of Parliament in Nyoro, has raised serious concerns over the state of media freedom in Kenya. Speaking at Withaga Boys Senior School in Buranga, Nyoro accused the government of frustrating independent media houses by delaying payments for government advertisement. He noted that many media organizations are struggling financially due to unpaid services already rendered. Nyoro warned that if the government continues to withhold funds, several independent outlets could face collapse. He urged authorities to immediately settle all pending bills out to media houses to safeguard press freedom and ensure survival of Kenya's independent media sector.
And the leaders of government are starving our media houses the pending bills because they want them to collapse. They are also starving them of businesses from government, channeling only to where they have interest, so that media houses can collapse, so that after imminent collapse, they then offer buyout bids to buy our media houses. That as we talk today here in Kenya, our 3 main newspapers, 2 of those now main newspapers are now tabloids of this administration because they have been bought through stakes and shares. Let us let media to be.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has said that the United Democratic Alliance grassroots elections are progressing smoothly across the country. Speaking in Nairobi, Professor Kindiki noted that voting was successfully conducted over the weekend in 18 counties, while the remaining counties will hold the elections in phases culminating in April. He revealed that the exercise has attracted more than 500,000 candidates competing for around 150 grassroots positions across over 9,000 polling centers. Despite minor delays reported in some areas, voter turnout has been encouraging. Deputy President Kindiki urged UDA members to continue turning out in large numbers to participate in the exercise, emphasizing that strong grassroots engagement will help strengthen the party's leadership and organizational structures at the county and local levels.
County, some of them, the elections have been held earlier, but there were gaps. We felt that we needed to repeat in those areas because in some of the areas where we thought that we needed more aspirants, some of the people who did not register cited various reasons. Some of them, the information had not reached them by the time of the deadline. Others told us they didn't have the 200 shillings for registration. We are present everywhere, and what this means for Kenya is that UDA is going to emerge stronger. UDA will be the only party that will have credible officials elected by members. No other party will try what we are trying. So I don't know.
The Council of Governors criticized members of Parliament for blaming county governments over the poor state of roads. Speaking in Quishero, Governor Fada Des Baraza noted that counties have not received an allocation from the Roads Maintenance Levy Fund since 2022, even though most local roads fall under their responsibility. Despite these challenges, Governor Barasa emphasized that county governments remain committed to developing and maintaining road infrastructure to support service delivery and economic activity. He criticized the proposal to allocate counties only 5% of the RMLF, calling it unrealistic as approximately 7% of roads in Kenya are managed by counties. Barasa urged MPs to enact laws that serve long-term public interests and called on the Senate of Kenya to prevent devolution by ensuring the proper implementation of the fund through county governments.
Counties have 70% of the roads to maintain. Na pesa ambazo zinatakana kutengeneza na kukarabati barabara, wabunge are proposing only 5% to go to counties. How can you propose 5% of road maintenance levy to maintain 70% of the roads in the counties. So hiyo ni unafiki na utapeli ya ubunge wetu. They want to play politics kwa sababu wako na mamlaka ya kutengeneza sheria. Kwa sababu wako na mamlaka ya kutengeneza sheria, they can decide leo tunatoa pesa hapa, ingine tunaweka hapo, so that the following day you start blaming governors. Mimi, I want to call upon our Senate to make sure they protect devolution.
Moving on, leaders across the political divide are urging Kenyans to maintain peace as political activity begins to intensify ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking in Kisumu during the funeral of George Were, Raymond Omolo warned that the government will take action against individuals sponsoring or engaging in violence. Omolo said security agencies are monitoring the situation and will ensure those responsible for chaos are brought to justice. At the same event, Karua cautioned politicians against using money to lure young people in violent acts. Karua urged the youth to reject such offers and instead promote peace and responsible political engagement.
And has been very clear from day one that under his watch, chaos and violence will not be a currency in transacting our politics. And we have experienced a lot of calmness across the country. We still have isolated incidences. And I would want to appeal to the public not to take the law into their hands.
Kama mwanasiasa anataka fujo itolewe, alete mtoto wake, awe wa kwanza wa hiyo fujo. Lakini tusichukue watoto wa maskini kama watu hawana maana, kuwapatia pesa ya kutoa fujo. Ukiwa lazima uchukue pesa, chukua na usitoe fujo. Hataweza kukudai hiyo.
Thank you for watching, and that story brings us to a very short commercial break. We are getting back with the newspaper review. Stick around. Good morning once again. This is Morning Live, and in case you're joining us right now, this is EBN TV, and we are moving very quickly to the newspaper review. With me, I've got the Standard newspaper and the Daily Nation. Then I'm starting off with the Standard now. This is CJ, and she's under fire, and it's all about a captured bench, and it's a question: is it a captured bench? Now, the judiciary once hailed as fiercely independent after the enactment of the 2010 Constitution now finds itself at a crossroads as critics accuse it of increasingly bending to the whims of the executive. A pattern of controversial rulings, ignored court orders, and the transfer of judges whose decisions rattle the state is raising fears that the presidency is tightening its grip on the courts. And this is a story you can read from page 4 of the Standard. Now, when a judge is transferred before delivering a judgment, the succeeding magistrate or judge must often start the case anew. A principle known as de novo, this results in a delayed justice for litigants who may have been waiting for years for resolution. And this is from Patricia Buyeshe Angaya, a legal scholar from Kabarak University. And that's a story I said you'll be reading from page 4 to get more details of this. And now the second page of the Standard is all about the Shah, and April as Shah dishes jobs to only 2 tribes. Oh. Of the 116 shortlisted candidates, 61 are drawn from Somali and Kalenjin communities. Some communities, including the Tenso, Samburu, and Maasai, did not appear on the shortlist. And there's a very big question why some tribes are not in the same. And we said, yes, we are around 47. Yeah, there are tribes in this country, but we have to live as one. We need to be brothers because we are only made of one color of blood, which is red. So I think we need to have a lot of inclusivity when it comes to this. Or maybe job offers that are given maybe from the government. Now, that's a very interesting story. You need to read it because we're getting some numbers here whereby 116 is the total positions for respective claims management. Then 61 positions are taken by 2 tribes, leaving only 55 for other tribes. So pathetic. Then 815 number of employees required and sham. So if one community dominates a third, half or 2/3 of the appointments, then the principle of diversity is clearly violated. Read that story from page 2 of the Standard. Then page 3, Kika's family farm acquired KR land. Now the farm, incorporated in February 2023, secured a 45-year lease for land near State House. Crown Freight Solutions Limited is constructing multi-billion shilling hotel on the land. Then Yala Sankok wants companies granted tax incentives to boost disability inclusion. And that's the story from page 3. Now page 4, routine or penalty questions raised over transfer of judges, and that's the story I said you'll be reading from page 4. That was the top story. Now, many judges who delivered adverse rulings against the state have been transferred. So you don't have to give justice, or even you don't have to judge in the right way. Once you do that, you have to be transferred maybe into a very remote area of this country. Now, but the judiciary insists the redeployment are routine and are not disciplinary. Okay, petitioners cry foul of appeals court premature ruling on Ruto's advisors. That story, or a continuation of the same story, you need to be reading from page 4 of the Standard, and it's all about disputes. Then more floods leave trail of rents and losses in Nairobi. Heavy rains on Saturday evening resulted in fresh floods in parts of the capital city. The National Police Service said it had intensified search and rescue operations. Now, picture, you can see a flooded road in Nairobi. So check that story from page 5 of the Standard. Then State House's ballooning budget exposes the 10-point agenda lie. Now, the State House budget now stands at 16.9 billion, which is almost 17 billion. Nearly double the initial allocation of 8.4 billion. Now the spending surged reached 1.3 billion in a month, roughly 42 million in every day. Right, now page 6-7, skewed agenda as Mudavadi visits Moscow. Statement listed rhetoric on deepening of relations between the two nations, exploiting Kenya's anti-war front was tackled towards the end of the agenda. Then there is a business story there you could read for yourself from page 7. Now, this is a story that took place all the way back in 2018, from secret affair to murder charge, Obada's long trial over Sharon death. That story you need to read from page 8. In Tolaba, Sharon Otieno was 26-year-old, a student at Rongo University and 7 months pregnant. Obada's lawful lawyer Kioko Kilukumi argued that no direct evidence linked his client to the murder. So interesting, read that story from page 8. Then 20 million is the cost of a home that Sharon Otieno had asked from Migori Governor Okoth Obado, who was a lover. She also wanted 5 million for upkeep, according to witnesses. Then Sharon was pregnant with my child, but I had no reason to eliminate her. That's a story you need to read. It's actually from the horse's mouth, and this is former Migori Governor Okoth Obado, Aunt Milimani, caught on July 28th, 2023, and that is what he said during that event. So read that story from page 9. Then page 10, Sifuna's 2027 dilemma, run alone or create alliance with Gachagua. Okay, it's a big trap. and it's all about politics. Now, the decision on which way his Linda Mwananchi faction will go is what will make or break him. There are opposing hardline positions by some members on how to relate with the former deputy president. So I think you can see or pictured is Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna with DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua. So it may be a trap or even a trick whereby Sifuna's 2027 dilemma looks like maybe what the Linda Mwananchi or what he decided to do with the Linda Mwananchi faction is what will maybe break or make him. Now, page 11, ODM troubles why leaders need to write wills for their nations. Then hardly do leaders endeavor to organize the future of their political vehicles when age begins to trouble them. It is interesting that these same leaders do not fail to write wills, so now their wealth will be disputed among their children. And maybe we're looking at or pictured is Anyang' Nyong'o, Kisumu governor, a movement that cannot reproduce leadership, cannot produce or reproduce relevance, and that's very true. Then page 12 is about the caricature, but before we get to the caricature, the United States of America has beaten and completely decimated Iran, both militarily, economically, and in every other way. But the countries of the world that receive oil through Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage, and we will help a lot. And this is from Donald Trump, U.S. president. Now, it's all about the politics of psychophancy, where you're seeing maybe someone is on top of the other, and maybe they are all delegates. They are delegates, and delegates are carrying someone, and you can hear, yes, sir, on your 6th term. Then there is a statement from someone we normally know, anasema shenzi sana. I think this is about the Q2 elections that took place last week, at the end of last week, and we saw Q2 Secretary General Francis Atwoli was re-elected for the 6th time. Do we have young people who can hold that position? And that's why we're looking at a dog here backing Shenzi Sana, because he's carried on top of shoulders of delegates from a party that we very well know. Now, we are on track to address the woes of workers. This carried on top of these delegates is Q2 Secretary General Francis Atwoli. So interesting, and this is our country. All right, we end there from the Standard newspaper. Quickly moving to the Daily Nation. Now, floods wreak Afuk again. Then crisis despite prior alerts by the weatherman, and just a week after similar floods killed at least 60 people. Heavy rains once again caused destruction in Nairobi over the weekend. Page 2 and page 3, and pictured on top right, you can see what happened over the weekend. Now, so charged, the anti-graft agency has recovered millions of shillings from convicted officers now, and we're looking at a story but that's a story that I'll give an explanation to. But it's all about the poll dispute, where inside the 2007 state operation to keep Kibaki in status, where the phone call came on a tense Sunday afternoon, December 30th, 2007. It was made to Nimrod by the then police sergeant attached to the security detail of Alfred Mutua, the government spokesman at that time. That is from page 12. Then it's all about corruption, where City Hall's car-towing extortion racket charges 10 times the set fee. Rogue Nairobi County officials are colluding with tow truck operators to extort 10,000 shillings from motorists, yet the legally stipulated charge is 1,000 only. This is a story from page 7. Then a story that I say that I'll be giving some explanation to is all about the how fraudsters run public service. Now, 250,000 2023 report by the Kenya National Qualification Authority, KNQA, a state agency that vets academic certificates, found that nearly 250 civil servants had fake certificates. 250,000 civil servants had fake certificates. Now, how fraudsters run public service. Now, 28,000 out of the 28,000 cases forwarded to the National Examination Council by 91 public institutions, at least 1,280 certificates were confirmed to be forgeries. This country. Then 70% is state corporations accounted for about 70% of the forgeries. Look at the fraud that takes place in this country, and maybe you have to employ someone in a sector, then you find that they are not delivering because maybe the process of recruitment, the school credentials or the education credentials were not fit for that person to be, or even to qualify to be in that position. Now 787, another 787 public officers out of a total of 29,000 across 195 ministries, departments and agencies who underwent authentication were found to have secured employment, promotion and redeployment using fake documents. That's a story you need to read from top page of the Daily Nation. Then official investigations continue to expose how many Kenyans, either out of desperation or greed, are cheating their way into the civil service with fake academic papers. Even more worrying is that some of these officers with bogus credentials are rising to leadership positions in state. And just read this story from page 4 and page 5. Now, what is the process of vetting? What is the process of employing these civil servants into different ministries? What is the process, and who is in charge of all this to make sure that maybe due diligence is followed, and to make sure that maybe you have to qualify to fit that position? Now, you'll have to read that story more. Now, Toyota's Takamoto wins 2027 Safari Rally for his maiden World Rally or WRC victory. Now, Toyota's Takamoto Akasusa yesterday won the Safari Rally, marking the Japanese driver's first victory in the World Rally Championship. So read that story from page top page of the Daily Nation. Then President William Ruto's poses for a photo with the podium at the Safari Rally Kenya in Hell's Gate, Naivasha yesterday. We can see pictured from the bottom of the top page of the Daily Nation. Now, page 2, weekend floods trigger traffic, and the story I say that you need to read from there. Then it's all about weekend floods trigger traffic chaos, rescues and renewed fear. So that's from page 2 and 3 of the Daily Nation. Now, page 4, public service politics rife with fake papers. That's a continuation of the story from top page. Now, page 6, legislators take IEBC to task over 4.2 billion legal bills. And check that story. It's all about the taxpayer money. Legal dues reduced by 402 million. Now, page 7, Nairobi towing racket. City motorists pay FT fines to mysterious figures. Now, check that story from page 7 as police says top officials as Nairobi hospital row escalates. And page 8, Mudavadi off to Russia for high-level talks on world jobs. Let's maybe assume or guess if maybe the talks are done, maybe all things will be well. Maybe 4 the desperate people have been taken to the war front of Russia, or of the war between Russia and Ukraine. Now, page 9, the launch of the construction of Naivasha, Kisumu, Malaba Standard Gauge Railway. And who is doing this job? Our very own President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Then page 10, Owalo, I will not work with President political old guard. Okay, now this guy has been chief staff at President Ruto's government, but he resigned because he just wants to be a president come 2027. Where is the game of politics here, and where is the lie? We're waiting to see, because he's promising us that he won't be working with Ruto. Now we'll wait and see. Now, vote out Ruto to end state capture, opposition urges. Story from page 10. Now 12th page, how the cover of Blackout was used to declare Kibaki winner. That's an interesting story. You need to pick the stories from the Daily Nation and the Standard newspaper so that you see what happened. Then Electoral Commission of Kenya chairperson Samuel Kivuitu. Then, and this is Bank 2007. It's all about the blackout that made President Kibaki or Kibaki Mwai a president in that age. Now, Nairobi must prioritize sewerage before it pours. Then page 15, stop fake certificates racket in public service. Now, who is responsible for this? And I think we shall be ending there from the newspaper review. Coming up next is a discussion on political instability and governance. So keep around, we're getting back shortly. Looking at political instability or some situations that if you knew very well this could happen in such a time when you had already voted or even cast your vote for a certain leader or a political leader, maybe you could have not casted it. Now things are turning a different way or are turning against what you had agreed or even what you had expected. Now this morning on board, I've got two guests who will be helping us understand the issues of political instability and governance in this country. What do you make of the leaders that we already have, and what do you make of the leaders that will be elected come 2027? We've also been looking at by-elections that have taken place even for the UDA party around different places, but the promise is that it was fair and credible. How sure is this, and how are we changing this narrative of the issue of tokenism and maybe the issue of clientism? So with me, the helped by Kennedy Washira, Changemakers Movement, and then Anne Mwaba on she's a student leader, Kenyatta University. They'll be helping us understand the topic on political instability and governance. Thank you so much. And we're starting off with thank you so much, guys, for coming and gracing this event at EBN TV. Welcome so much, Anne. This is your first time at EBN TV.
Sure.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
That's great. Good morning, Kennedy.
Good morning, Jeff. Yes.
How is your morning?
My morning is great. Again, it's another chance to talk to the people of Kenya and also address the issues that are pressing us.
That's great. You're most welcome, and feel free to let all that you wanted to let this morning. Now, Anne, how is your morning?
My morning is okay.
All right. Now, because let's know a bit of you as a student leader from Kenyatta University. What you do as a student leader?
Hi, my name is Anne Blessing Omwaka. In the School of Law, Arts and Social Sciences, but particularly Arts and Social Sciences.
Yeah.
As a student leader, I advocate for education, human rights, and also work hand in hand with the school administration for the betterment of comrades. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, that's great. And we are looking at the political stability and governance in this country. But before we go very far, we're looking at a certain story on the Daily Nation, where maybe around 290,000 or 29,000 people are working in different ministries with fake certificates. What do you make of that, and you're a scholar right now?
Working with fake certificates?
Yes.
I'd say that's fraud.
Yeah.
Fraud is, what word do I use? Fraud is against the law.
Yeah.
And when we come to like a number of you said 29,000 people doing fraud, I think there has to be something that perpetuated them. And it has to be something that has been there over a long time. It can't just come out of nowhere, then we get 29,000 people. So I think obviously corruption is involved. And it's only bad when you're not involved. So it takes you and I to practice corruption. what I'd say is, if already we know it's wrong to do this and we still go ahead to do it, we are not ignorant, we're just negligent. So I'll advise fellow citizens to uphold like integrity, in as much as I know it could be a bit challenging given the situation of the economy and our backgrounds difference and all that. I'll only advise each and every one of us to be integral. That's all I could say, because if you go down to the reasons why they are involving themselves in fraud, you'll get a lot of reasons relating to the economy and the social status.
Okay.
So my take is, let's just be integral.
Okay, that's great. Now, Kennedy, I'm looking at that number of people around that place. Then you found that due diligence was not followed. Then at the end of it all, you find that there is something that you had to deliver. But because of the issue of fraud and corruption in this country, you find a lot of people were employed in different ministries, and at the end of the day, what we wait for is these people to deliver. And maybe I can also give an example of what is happening in Nairobi County as far as the flooding is concerned. Now, the governor said that Nairobi was built on swamp, and he cannot change this for only 3 years. Now, that kind of incompetence is what we are blessing, or even that is what is placed in the dailies this morning. Now, what is the effect of having this number of people in this country in different very key positions in this country? Then you find that they are not delivering. What will be the end or the ripple effect of this?
Now, having 29,000 people working in the vital sectors in the government and they are not qualified, that is, it raises a lot of questions to the examination bodies and even to the government itself. What criteria are they using to check whether the documents or the papers being used are the right papers? Again, you see, Deco, what Blessing has said, corruption again comes in, because Jeff, I cannot walk into an office and get employed without my papers being checked, and maybe somebody knows the papers are not okay, but again they ignore that, and then I'm given the position. And that is why we are seeing so many challenges that we have in this country. Based on that, like you see, like the governor, like Nairobi, this person holds an office that demands a lot, but again the responsibility is not there, because you don't have that in heart. That you don't have that calling, because you just put there for formalities or just to be there. But in case you find the government should do something, because we are dealing with people, lives of people's at hand, maybe in hospitals, maybe in those government offices, and you see we have lives at stake. So at least they should be serious. At some point, I would say they should be serious. And
now maybe this person vetting, or even the person employing, maybe is money deficient in his pockets. What do you think they'll do?
Now, corruption in Kenya, not unless we wipe the whole, all the people that we have in the leadership today, because with money you can do anything in this country. With money you can get employment anywhere in this country. You can walk through any office. So at least we should also take responsibility as citizens. Whenever it is that you feel like you're not competent for, just leave it for somebody who can do it better than you can.
Okay, look at the education system that we have. Will it bring out someone who will be so competent in a certain field?
Yes.
The education system that we have currently looks better than the one we had. These, at least we believe this one is going to make a lot of difference other than the other one we had, because the other one was just paper, like you didn't get the papers.
Okay, now, and because you're still in school at Kenyatta University, now what do you make of our education system, and what will you make of someone maybe has gone through the system that we have currently, and we expect him to be produced as fine as we expect, then at the end of the day we find that through dubious means he is at a top position in this government, then they are so incompetent. What will you make of such a person and through the system they've gone through?
I'd say the 844 system is a good system, really. Though it majorly only relies on the intelligence as opposed to the competency-based education, the CBE. For one, someone who's gone through the 844 from preschool to primary to high school and then finally to university and fails to deliver, then I am forced to believe that they got there through other means. There are a lot of means of achieving whatever you want. So it could be there could have been discrepancies in their results, or maybe the position they attained it, they were not like worthy of the position, you know. They got there through other means. And I believe a good number of people who have gone through the 844 should be in a position to deliver the responsibilities as required. And if we compare 844 to CBC, I feel like CBC is more practical. You, like now, going to grade 9, there are STEM schools and art schools. So someone who is going to be, let's say you want to make an engineer, they went to a STEM school specifically. So this person is going to be like more conversant with this and more skilled, because this is something they've been doing since their life in preschool. And they're going to be, like, you know, if someone is going to be employed from CBC and we compare to 844, I expect CBC, a student from CBC to deliver more than compared to the 844 system candidate. Because most of us, actually in the university, we do a lot of theory. There's no practical work much. So I feel like our system of education right now, the one we are transiting to, is better than 844. Yeah, that's my take.
Okay, that's great. Now, I think we should be finishing with the newspapers shortly. Now, I think page 12 of the Daily Nation of the Standard, we are looking at Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli, re-elected the 6th time. What changes do you think he'll be bringing in the 6th term, Kennedy?
Now, having him re-elected again, you expect the same things he's been doing. You don't expect any change, actually, because we don't expect any change, actually, because the same things that have been there is the same things that you've carried forward. So it is. There's nothing different to expect, actually. Okay,
on today's caricature, we're seeing him ferried on shoulders of delegates from UDA party. Then you can see he's making some insults as he's running away. And there is a promise that he's giving out there. He'll be on the workers. And he's been there for 6 terms. Then there is a time he kept on saying that Ruto, the incumbent, Akatemiti Sugoi, because he won't be making for the top position as a president. Then now he was actually against Ruto very much, and now we can see they are together. What do you make such a coalition, maybe from the work sector, maybe to the government, and now that maybe is in very real and active politics?
Okay, what we've seen, or what we are seeing right now in politics, it's like I go where I'm going to, I will follow where I'm going to gain something. So what we saw behind then, he was against Ruto, but when Ruto won, he moved to his side because he knew he'll get more of whatever he wants. His interest will be served. He'll get everything. He's on the table, so he'll be served as he wants.
So, and what is the purpose of a president once elected absorbing someone who has been in a position for more than 25 years? What will be the benefit?
There's no benefit, because actually what we want right now is a change. Because if we want to bring new people in those offices so that we can see a change, at least we can maybe what these people have been doing, let's at least try someone else and see maybe what he has for us. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the seat as glue. Now, you're doing law in Kenyatta University, and top page of the Standard, we're looking at Martha Koome, the Chief Justice. What do you make of the statement that she's on fire, or she's under fire? Then is judiciary under siege?
She's on fire.
Yes.
She
Because,
has a lot of pressure.
We're looking at the backlog of cases in court, and some cases maybe they're not served that they're supposed to be served. So you find maybe justice is not followed or done as be served. Yep.
I feel like the issue of justice being served to the people is something that is really underrated. Why? Take for example, let's say today, as the daughter of a peasant farmer, and I cross shoulders or maybe lines with someone else's daughter, let's say maybe the governor's son or daughter, and we end up having a case in court. So obviously, if let's say like most of the times you'll find that she crossed my lane or provoked me to do something because they know I won't even have access to get that justice. So you find that we go to a court of law, then my side of the story, obviously because I can't even get good lawyers or people to stand up by me, most of our cases won't even be listened to because of the difference in our social statuses, or we won't even get to that court of law because how will I even get there? So there's a lot of pressure in trying to get all these cases to be listened to and trying to get that justice. Will this justice ever be gotten? That is like a question that should be looked into. Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure in that position. I feel like
that's why I'm asking whether judiciary is under siege.
Yeah, it is.
But now, because it's an independent body, how do you make sure that we make it independent as it should be?
Sorry, how do you make sure?
That it is independent as it should be.
For it to be independent as it should be?
Yes. Or as you think of that, we can move to Kennedy, because this institution that I feel it's pocketed, or it's our feeling that it's already pocketed. What do you think we need to make sure that to make sure that it is as firm as it should be?
Actually, what we are seeing right now is it's making our hearts feel we are worried actually, because what we are seeing, it's kind of the judiciary is being it's being molded for 2027, because we are seeing changes that we didn't expect, changes that are coming in to maybe to serve for the purpose of 2027, that is. So what we should do, like we should strengthen the judiciary to make it stronger again and stand on its own so that justice can be administered, because what we have right now, it is politically altered. Judiciary has been politically altered to serve the interest of some of the leaders and people that we have who hold big offices or who are in different social classes and pressing aside. Like what we should do is like we should strengthen the judiciary again, and at some point I feel like the constitution should be revisited so that at least some things can change, because the justice cannot be administered if changes are going to be made to serve the interest of a certain person. But if the judiciary was left on its own, that could even guarantee the people of Kenya and the citizens that when you go to that place, because it is sometimes the last option that we have as citizens, because somebody has done wrong or something is not right somewhere, the only option you have or the only place you can run to is the judiciary. But when you go there, justice is not served because it has been politically altered to cater for the interest of some people. So we think at least maybe the constitution could be at least checked again so that the judiciary can be on its own, and then that is the only.
Now, I'm looking at a point where a certain legislator in this country said that president or the term limit should be 7 years right now. So maybe such an opening comes in. Do you think we shall have a space for changing the term limit to be 7? And that will translate maybe for the incumbent having gone for 5 years, the second term translating into other 7 years, the other 7 years. So if it happens, it goes for 3 terms, that will translate into 19 years.
As I said, Jeff, you see, what these people are doing is they are trying to alter things so that they can be served in their own interest. And that is what we are against. That is what we don't want, because that is what is leading Kenya to what it is, because that is being selfish at some point. Because you want to serve this Kenya, you have not seen what you've done in the last terms that you've been in office. At least let us have the change. For the term, I don't think the term actually should be reduced maybe to 4 years, not being extended. Because for a period of 5 years, what we are seeing, it's like the time is so much. Like whoever is in office feels like he has a lot of time, that because he will tell you, like right now, the president is saying he's only been in office for 3 years, but 3 years is a lot of time, and we expect a lot to be been done. If you cannot deliver what you have or you promised to deliver to us in the first 2 years, because we saw a lot of promises. What do you expect even when a term is extended to 7 years? You're not even going to. What you're doing is just extending your term so that you can serve your own interest, your own personal interest again. Because I don't think, as a reader, like what we saw in the United States, Joe Biden got to a point and then he said, it's enough. Let's give the chance to somebody else. But that is not what we have in African countries or in our own country. You see, they want to extend the term, and we have seen it in our neighbors, altering the constitution so that you can be in office for your own personal gains. So,
do you think in Africa we can say it's enough?
In Africa,
I think so.
We don't think so.
We find that a president goes for 7 terms. How is that even possible?
It is not. Now, still moving on with the issue of the judiciary, just a smaller part of it, where we're looking maybe if you judge right, or even if you are very strict on the judgment towards the people in the government, maybe you have to be transferred maybe to a very remote area in this country. Should that happen, Anne?
I don't think it's fair enough for people who are holding those offices, because for one, you put me here because you think I'm integral enough and I stand for justice. Why then is it that when it comes to a certain group of people, I'm not supposed to point out or to say you did this or that, making you am I supposed to say making you to move me to a lower position or to a remote area? It's not just at all. Itself, it's not even just at all. So I feel like there's a certain group of people in the government who feel like they're entitled to do anything and should not be questioned or should not be put to account of their actions with the judiciary because of the positions they're holding in government, which should not be the case. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Kennedy, do you have a say on the same?
Okay. Again, what we have or what you are seeing today, Jeff, if you point at some people, you might even go missing. So right now you have to be careful on what you say, or when you're pointing to certain arms in the government or certain people. Let me say certain people. You might point somebody and then you might even lose that job, not even being taken to a remote area or even being given a lower position. You might even lose that job because there are people who feel like they are superior, above the law, above everything. They feel like they already own the country or they already own the Kenya, and they feel like everything is that. But for me, that is an injustice being served in the judiciary. Like how do we put it? Like it's injustice being served where justice should, and it should not happen like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Now we're looking at a raid at Ravel Tuju's home over the weekend. What do you make of that?
Now, you've seen these times and again, when you're not supporting certain people or you're not with certain people, something happens. It is not only Ravel Tuju. We've seen it at Nyakera's hotel in Kisumu. It is also happened the same thing, and it is not fair at all. Let us be fair where we should be. Let us do what we are supposed to, but not don't do things because this person is not supporting me. You feel like he should not own this thing, because like Ravel Tuju's case, it was very painful actually, because if you see a man shedding tears, it is really painful. And he said that the loan was already approved. He was given a loan by the bank, but then when he went to repay, the bank doesn't want to get the money because the value of the red light now is more than the amount he borrowed. It's again corruption comes in, because I feel it's like there are people who are trying to get it to their own people. But you see, this man he has a pure heart, because he's been in public office and you've not had anything that he's done to anything. He's never done anything of that sort to anybody in this republic. He's been a good servant, and he should actually be rewarded for what he has done. But what we are seeing now, he's being oppressed. We don't know why, but that should not happen at all. And that is not the kind of country that we want, whereby if you don't support me, you cannot own anything. It is not right.
Okay. And do you think in politics, or you becoming a leader, you need to be loved by every other person, each and every other person?
No.
Reasons?
I don't believe in being loved by every other person. Be you, do you, just do what is right. Because a leader is someone who does things right, not the right things. Because if you focus on the right things only, how are you going to make the wrong right? The same way, not everyone is going to love you, but ensure that you're just deliver. Let's say as a student leader, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to ensure my students, my constituents actually, what are they supposed to get? Is it timely? Is it delivered? Am I doing my roles? So I feel like if you have like an extra problem, or you feel like there's something I'm not doing right, find me, or like just channel it to me. I'll see how to adjust on your part. But if the rest are good with what I'm doing, then I'm delivering. So you're not supposed to be loved by every other person. Yeah, I think that's where the problem comes in, even in our government. You want to do the right thing, but you're afraid of who is superior and is going to say what about what you want to do, because it's going to alter with their plans or their, so you're not supposed to be loved by every other person, just deliver. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, now suppose, because we're looking at the promises, and this is all about maybe it can culminate into poor governance, whereby you give a lot of promises and pledges, then at the end of it all, when we are demanding for what you promised through your manifesto, it's like you have to eliminate us. What do you make of such a leader?
I'd say that is barbaric. That is so pathetic. That is all the bad terms. Because tell me why, when you wanted this position, we are the same people you came to approach. We trusted your words, we believed in you, we gave you the position. And now, when it comes to giving us what you're supposed to give, you asked us to give you the position we did. Now give us what you promised. You start eliminating us. I feel like that is even devilish. Like why do you eliminate me for asking for like what should be mine? I'm not even supposed to ask, just give it. So I feel like my take is such leaders should not even be given, like, if only, but we have the constitution, we have to go the constitution way. So if only we had that ability to put into leadership the leaders we really want after seeing what they're giving us in one term, then it would be better. Just that our constitution says it's 2 terms, then we get another one. And over the years, we've not seen a leader who has been in office for like a single term. So it becomes difficult a bit, but it should not be the trend at all. Yeah. And
we're seeing when you go to campaign, we see these people appearing every time. But once you give them that position, they disappear forever. Now, why does it happen that you have to appear every time, then you disappear once you're given that role?
During campaigns, I think they want to make us feel like they're there with us. We see them every other time. That when they get to office, we'll actually see them frequently, the way we do. But it's actually not the case. The other day we paid a visit to the Senate, and we wanted to meet the majority leader. And whatever we were told, actually we were still waiting to get in, because there are also other students who came to pay a visit and all that. And what we're being told is that, when you get there, there's no talking to anyone. Just go do your business and leave. Even if you meet your MP outside, don't talk to them, because police are around and we can actually get you arrested. And I'm like, are these the people we're even going to we're even going to register as voters for? Because they're still going to come back to us at the end of the day. Why are you even barring us from even just saying hi to your leader? This is someone who was there with us on the ground when they wanted this position. So why? They just want that, they want us to feel like we are intertwined. Until they get what they want and they disappear out of the blues, you'll never see them again. You'll only hear of their stories and see them on air.
Okay. Now, what changes Kennedy once these people are elected?
Actually, I don't know what changes, but what happens, I don't know. I don't really know, because these people are too good when they are coming to look for votes. They will promise anything, they will give you anything, they even sit with you in your own house. But the moment they get into that office, you never see them again. You only see them on newspapers or maybe see them on television, but you'll never see that person. The same person who came to visit you in your own house. When you need to see him once he's in office, you need an appointment. And that appointment will take you a very long process for you to meet that person. I don't know what really changes, but what I feel personally, I feel like sometimes these people are just there for personal gains. Because what you are seeing right now with the current trends, like a person is elected and then within 2 or 3 months, this person is net worth, or this person already has a lot than he already owned. Meaning, if you compare what he has to his or her own salary, the two does not relate. So, meaning these people mostly are going out there, or they are looking for these seats for own personal gain, and that is why this person would do anything to get that position. But once they get there, they forget about you, because they already found what they wanted. And that is why I told you last time, when we are electing leaders, we have a leader. There is a difference between a leader and a politician, because a leader has the interest of the people at heart, but a politician has his own personal interest at heart. He is only there to serve his own interest. Because, like, for instance, I look like, if you see these people battling for the presidential seat, how much salary does a president get? It is maybe 1 point something. But the kind of money this person spends out there, you even wonder how is he going, or what is it that he's looking for in that place, that he's spending all this money to get that position. How is he going to repay that money that he's already spent? For me, it looks like it's a business. It's a gamble, whereby you put this on the table, but you know I'm going to get double of that. That's what happens now. That is what we have in Kenyan politics.
Okay, now, Anne, we looking at that aspect where people, or even these people, try to lower their standards so much when they need your votes. Then we looking at if they get the position, they change so drastically. What do you think will change our governance if the people we are supposed to relate with, that we need to tell them of our lamentations and of our cries of the issues that we're facing? There's a lot of bars and a lot of obstacles that are put for us to reach out to them. What do you think we shall do, or what will happen to our governance? What will change what we see from our leaders?
My take, I feel like, also humans are wired differently. And there's that aspect of delayed gratification. The moment someone comes again to persuade you and tells you, next time I'm going to do better. It was my first time in office and blah, 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 and all that. So you find that most of the times, citizens will only be enticed by what they see at the moment. They won't think of what is going to come next. They'll have forgotten that this person promised us this last time, they didn't deliver. They're coming for a second time, only to give us a few pieces of unga and a little money. And we've forgotten all that he didn't do in office when he was there. So the only advice I'm going to send out, let everyone go register as a voter, and let them reason from a point of logic, honestly. Let's put emotions aside, and let's be factual. We gave you 5 years. You didn't deliver within the first 1 or 2 years. But we feel like the assets you're having right now are way more than what you had before you got into office. Within the first within the first 2 years, you still have 3 years in office. What are you supposed to do? You are your constituents. We're still in the same state you left us. You yourself, you're thriving, meaning there's something that's not adding up. It's either there's a discrepancy or there's just a line that has been cut. So let everyone go register as a voter. Let them reason logically and give these positions to people who deserve them. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to developments, maybe in our constituencies or maybe our wards or respective places, maybe in our villages. Now, I'm looking at a place. I was the first MP maybe in a certain constituency. Then the project I live, should the incoming governor or no MP, should they continue the same project or should they start off others?
You know very well that you're there for like 1 or 2 terms.
Yeah.
Then the project you're working on should be within the frame of time you have. You should not leave any project incomplete. And if it happens to be so unfortunate that you didn't complete it, I feel like even if you're out of office, just finish what you began and let the other person deliver what they have to deliver. Because someone will come and say, you know, there was no water. He built wells. Let me bring in the water supply system now. So I feel like it is not like, it's not supposed to be that way. Just finish what you started. Let the other person give us what he has to bring on board. Because you both came differently, asking us for the positions differently at different times, promising us different things. Let everyone deliver theirs. Yeah.
Okay. What do you make of that, Kennedy?
For me personally, I feel like for a project that is either within the county, within the ward, within a constituency or even a county, it is not the responsibility of the person who is there. It is the responsibility of the office. Yeah. So once you get in the office, if there was a project that was left and it is incomplete, you should complete the project because you're in that office. You are the current MP, you are the current governor, you are the current MCA. That is your own responsibility. And the person who left, maybe because there are some projects that will take a longer period of time, maybe more than 5 years, it will not be completed within those 5 years. So it is a responsibility of the person who's holding the office. It is not a responsibility of that individual. Because once you are elected or not be elected again, we cannot forward you to your homes to ask you. We'll ask the person who is in that office currently. So for me, I feel like if there is a project from the MCA to the presidential level, it is the responsibility of the person, of the office holder. It is not the responsibility of an individual. So once you get in the office, if there are projects that were not completed, they should be done. Because talking of that, let me give you an example of the Marwa Kenol Jukarejwe. If we go by that, like it should be served by the person who started it. Uhuru Kenyatta could have gone home with the project. But you see, the incoming government had to complete the project because the project is there to serve the people and it is a responsibility of the office, not the individual person.
And it's not a personal property.
It is not a personal property.
Yeah, so I think that is the right way because I'm looking at the incomplete projects that would be left if you have to leave at where your time is ending at.
Okay, you know what happens, Jeff? Once these people get to an office, because the project has already funds allocated to it, but you know nobody will question you because it was not your project. So what they do, they pocket what they find in the office, and that is how you see now. If you go to ask about the project, you're told ask so and so, ask so and so. I don't know about the money, but you found the funds there, you found the project, but you decided because it is not your project, and nobody is going to follow you up because you never started it. You just pocket whatever it is that you found there. And that is what has been happening actually.
Okay, that's good. Now, and we are looking at a movement of young people coming in, maybe from you. What gap have you seen in the governance that you want to fill up?
A movement of young people
now
transiting
you
into national politics.
Into politics of whichever caliber. Because maybe if you're in a certain movement and you maybe want to become a young leader, it means that there are some gaps that you've seen in between in our governance, and maybe that is what you want to change. What do you think as young leaders you're bringing in our government? in our governance?
As young leaders, one, we are very vibrant, and we are also very, let me say, we are very sincere or candid. We'll point out what you don't want and tell you how we want it to be done. So I feel like our generation is bringing on, is giving rise to very vibrant leaders, people who are going to make the nation stand up again. Like, for example, I'd say there have been a number of protests by Gen Zs, and this in turn has led to accountability and some changes here and there in the government. So it means I feel like we are people who want to do what they want as they want it to be done. We say and we act on it. In as much as we may not be doing it the right way, but at least we're expressing what you want, and we have to ensure that it's done how you want it to be. Yeah. So we are giving a rise to a very vibrant leaders. Yeah.
Do you think the system will engulf you, absorb you?
That is where the problem is going to come in, because even if, for instance, if you look at the CS for youth, he's way out of youth, you know. So I'm not even going to mention names, but he's like 56 years or about thereabout. So you find that getting the youth into the system is going to be very difficult. For one, our interests are different. Given that the generational difference is also there, and we're also evolving with this. AI is here, and the economy is also moving so fast, and there's just that difference. If you want to involve the youth, then give them what they deserve. If it's the CS for youth, let it be youth. Let it not be ironical. How can you be way out of the people you are going to serve? How are you even going to interact with them and bring your mind to fit into theirs? It's not going to work. So I feel like the system kidogo will not engulf us as we want it to.
All right, I'll be coming back to you again. Now, Kennedy, we're talking of young leaders coming in, and we are looking at the wrangles that came in ODM party after the demise of the party founder, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Now, Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General, at some time he was ousted, and we saw maybe him coming back, or Oburu Oginga getting him back as the Secretary General. Now, this morning from the newspapers we're seeing maybe the Linda Mwananchi, what he'll do with the Linda Mwananchi is what will make or break him. Then DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua is there convincing him to join or even to make a coalition with the DCP party. Now, he's a leader, he's a young leader. Then there are maybe the people that we're looking at, Babu Owino and maybe Ndindi Nyoro. Now, this kind of maybe these big fishes pocketing these young people, that is what I had pushed to. And what do you think will happen to Edwin Sifuna if he is formed within DCP party?
Obviously, what you've been seeing in the Kenyan politics, once Sifuna agrees to join a coalition with anybody else, he will be suppressed. His voice will not be heard again at some point, because we feel like we don't know what happens when these people get to office, and that is why we as the youth are feeling like we need to have leaders who are going to listen to us, or leaders who have the same mindset that like we have, because once, or let me give an example. Maybe say if Sifuna is or joins any of the coalitions, first of all, he will not get the presidential. He cannot be a presidential candidate. Maybe they will not prefer him for that. maybe he would say he has a longer time to serve, or maybe I don't know, but he will not get that position, that senior position. Maybe the position would be given. We've seen it happen, like it happened to Rigathi Gachagua. Like if you don't serve, or you don't serve according to what I want, you are removed from whatever it is that you've been doing. So for us as the youth, we feel like he should stand on his own, or we should have leaders. We are calling upon those capable leaders who can lead us at the top there. We as the youth are ready to support our own, because we've seen the leaders that we have previously are not what we really want, because they are not serving us in the way that we really want. They are not listening to our interests, because actually this nation currently, it's being built by the youth. These youths are the same youths you find in the morning in the streets hawking or doing this and that to build the economy. But these people, their voice is not being heard. And the moment I try talking, I'm hammered, or I just disappear. You'll not hear me again, because or just something happens. So what we want is like let Sifuna stand on his own, because or whoever it is, as a youth leader, wherever you are, we would want the leaders to stand. We are ready to support our own as the youth, because that is what we want, because the leaders that we have previously has not delivered what we want, and we have seen it happen. And what we are having is these people think that giving a youth maybe 500 or 200 is enough, but it is not enough, because I have a life that I want to build. So we feel like it should change. Let us give the youth a chance to lead this nation. Let us give the youth a chance to serve, because these people are energetic, because we are energetic actually, and we can do more things than these people can do. We can even go far much beyond our capabilities, because we have the energy. It is there. But sometimes you find like an MP, some of the MPs are old enough, they will not stay in that parliament for a whole session, because maybe of the age, or maybe of something else. But for us, we will be there to monitor everything that is happening, and that, I guess, that is what is happening to the people who are supposed to act as oversight. These people don't have time, or maybe you find that their age does not allow them maybe to be in office at a certain hour, and that is the hour that these things are being done. But we as the youth will be there to observe and to take care of the issues that are disturbing us or disturbing the country. So we feel like we should be given that chance to serve.
Okay, now when do you think an leader should retire?
When should the leader retire?
Because now I'm asking that you have to consider like the issue of age and the time you have to spend maybe in the parliament, because maybe of your old age you're not able to deliver. And it's a thought, it's not a must that it's exact what you've said, because we're looking at maybe the incompetence that we're looking with our leaders. Then we feel maybe some of them are so tired, so relaxed. Maybe they wanted to be there, maybe for the benefit of themselves. Then you just appear there, we just see you there. There's nothing you don't do any kind of legislation, then you don't participate in anything, you're just there. Yeah, so what do you think should be the retirement time or age for our leaders?
For our leaders, I'd say 45 to 50 is not bad, because given the life expectancy nowadays, when you look at a 45-year-old woman or man to 50, they're still very strong and can do a number of things. But even to those who still retire at 60, you find that retirement in office is not the end of their what should I say? It's not the end of their leadership. They'll retire there, but still have something to do elsewhere. But I feel like 50 is a neutral age. 50, just retire when you still have that energy. We still need it, though you can you can still use it somewhere else, but retire when you still can do what you want in office. Not too tired to do them, and still just I feel like 50 is a good age.
Okay, that's great. Now, Kennedy, there is the UDA-ODM joint framework that we've been getting after the death of Raila Odinga. Now, they also came in with the NADCO report and the 10-point agenda. Have you gone through the 10-point agenda and known what it all carries?
Okay, first of all, I have not gone through the 10-point agenda because for me it was a scam. It was not something that could have been delivered because the government would do, the current government that we have would do anything to gain what it wants. So for me, it was a scam, and till today, I'm not interested in know what was there because it is not something that will be delivered to the public.
Okay, I can also give you some of the points that were included in the packet, and one was the full implementation of the NADCO report, inclusivity in all spheres of public life, protection and strengthening of devolution, promoting and protecting the livelihoods of the youth, leadership and integrity in governance, protection of right to peaceful assembly and protest, addressing the national debt and ensuring accountability in its use, fighting corruption, stopping wastage of public resources and promoting fiscal discipline. Then the last one, protecting and promoting the sovereignty of the people, the rule of law and constitutionalism. Now, why has it come to you?
For me, according to what I've heard, there is nothing, because the government, the UDA says that they have delivered or they have fully implemented, but there is nothing that have been done. Because like, for instance, corruption is still there. Because like now you're talking about, we've seen what happened last week when you had a certain office used 44 million. Right now I've been seeing on the newspaper that the state house spends 42 million per day. What it is that is being done there. So you see, there is nothing that was done. Talking about the equality of people and all that, there is nothing that have been done. So that is why for me I say it was a scam. Maybe just to entice the ODM to form a coalition with the ruling party, that is the UDA. So for me, I don't think like what I've seen is that the incapability of the government to deliver, and this government, as we have seen, will promise anything. Like for instance, we were promised jobs as the youths, and it was also there in the, but we have not seen that. What we are seeing is 22,000 to do this and that, which is not enough. We've seen these jobs. The ABC recently recruited people, but we have a lot of questions. What criteria did they use to recruit those jobs? Because the youths that are being promised jobs are not the same youths that are getting those jobs. So there are a lot of questions, and there are a lot of things that were in that agreement that were not, and I don't think are going to be implemented at all.
Okay, now, and in this 10-point agenda, we were promised of leadership and integrity in governance. Do you see it coming in?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Reason? Especially
integrity, not at all. Because no one wants to be accountable of their actions. Someone is going to do something and not account for it, you know. So I feel like the 10-point agenda, in as much as it was brought up, most of the things are not going to be delivered, honestly. Because leadership and integrity out. Corruption is still there, as we've said. We only try to manage it, but we can't say that it will end completely, because the same leaders are the ones still engaging in corruption in one way or another. Even when they try to cover up, we still know. Like, we just know we did this, but you're trying to cover it up to persuade us. So that I feel like I'm not behind any of these, and no one is going to be accountable of this and this and this has been spent on this and has helped a certain number of people. So I feel like the 10-point agenda for me is also a no.
All right, now, Kennedy, we also promised promoting and protecting the livelihoods of the young people.
So that is completely the opposite of what you are saying.
The irony.
It is completely the opposite, because like, for instance, if you talk about protecting the lives of the people, we've seen people dying in Nairobi. It happened the first time, and within a week, just a small rain, and then the floods are back again. So lives are not being protected. You've seen, like yesterday, a lady was crying at Kenyatta National Hospital. She's been held there because of that 5,000 shillings as a bill. Yet you're being promised that SHA is working. But you see, like the lives are not being protected. There is nothing like that is happening. Like now today, if I decide or if I want to go see the president right now, or not even the president, let me talk about governor, maybe to my county, I will not be allowed to that office. And mostly you may I'll either be abducted or arrested. That is not protecting. There is nothing like protecting the livelihoods. Like that is why we are saying it is the complete opposite of what we expected. Yeah.
We also promised peaceful demonstrations and protests. Again, completely opposite of what is in that paper. Because right now, we've seen it happen. Demonstrations of the Gen Zs. You try to demonstrate, again we are killed. And then we saw like some days back we had demonstrations at Kikuyu. Again, lives were lost, and people are treated in a bad way. So again, it is not there. Yeah. All right, that's great, and we're taking a very short commercial break. We're coming back in a moment.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world. You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Are you ready for an uplifting experience? On Your Faith Today, dive deep into the life-changing message from the Word of God. Join Reverend Felix Gavoy as he shares powerful insights that will inspire, encourage, and strengthen your faith.
It is one thing to receive a prophetic word. It is another thing altogether to see that prophetic word come to pass in your life.
But that's not all. Experience special sessions of worship that will stir your soul and draw you closer to God. Today, every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Tune in and let your spirit be renewed.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Welcome back to Morning Life. This is political instability and governance. Now, moving on, we've got Kennedy Washira, Changemakers, then Anne Blessings, student leader from Kenyatta University. Now, are leaders and or even are they trying to underrate the youth vote?
So, okay, the leaders that we have currently are not underrating, because most of them think that they'll still come back with the same 200 shillings, 500 shillings, and still win the votes back. And that is why I want to speak to the youths, because leadership, for us to change the leadership, it is not the leaders who are going to change. It is us who are going to change. Because if I'm going to be enticed, or I'm going to be forced, or maybe, I don't know, to vote for a person because he gave me 200 shillings, or he came and promised me something that I'm sure enough not going to deliver. You see, the problem starts with me. So again, I feel like the youths, let us wake up. let us wake up and let the change start from within us, because the change should start from within us. Because the problem is actually, I would say the problem is not even actually the leaders that we have, although they are the problem currently, but the problem started back from us. So it is us who should change first, change the perspective of how we carry ourselves to those leaders, because sometimes we carry ourselves like we are. It is just that money that we want for us to be won back. So again, you see, these people know, even if they come back to us, having not delivered anything, having killed us, having done all sort of things, they still come back and give us 200 shillings, 500 shillings, still get the youths back. So for us, I feel like the leaders we have currently are undermining the youths, or feeling like the youths will not count. But this time around, we are going to count and we are going to make the change.
Okay, that's great. And what environment do you need as the youth to become leaders?
All we ask for the youth is support. We'll actually support ourselves, even if anyone is against us, because we stand for us, a youth for a youth, and we'll also support our own. We'll also support our own. So all I'm asking is for us to make informed decisions, just that. Because in as much as you're saying youth, you could also elect a youth who will not deliver. So it still runs back to us. When you're going to cast your vote, when you're going to elect that person, it doesn't, it's not about the 200 shillings they gave you or about the unga they gave you the other day. That is all going to pass. What you want to know is, what is he bringing? Is it something tangible? Is it something that is going to benefit us? Or is it for his own interests or her own interests? So let's make informed decisions, and we are ready to support our own. Yeah, a youth for a youth will deliver.
Okay. That's great. And I think we shall be ending there. But before we go, you final word, Kennedy.
So my final word again goes to the leaders that we have currently in office, and even those who are upcoming. Our motto this time around is, we want to fight brutality, and we want to fight the brutality that is in government and in the impunity that we are seeing in government today. That is what we want to completely get rid of. So again, I would like to call upon the people of the Republic of Kenya. Let us take this opportunity, because IBC is open. They're opening their doors very soon for voter registration. I would kindly ask for people to go register as voters. And again, I repeat what I said last time. Registering is one part, and taking part in the election is another part. You should register as a voter and also take the responsibility of taking part in the voting process, so that you elect the leaders that you want, or the leaders that we need. Because again, I repeat myself again, I told you, like, I can have somebody I want to vote for, or somebody I feel somebody can lead this nation in the right way, but I don't take part in that, in the voting process or registration process. I have done nothing. You've not contributed anything to this republic. Actually, you're draining us, or you're taking us back to where you want to come from. So let us stand together in fighting the brutality and impunity of the current leadership. And again, as a citizen of this Kenya, stay vigilant. Whatever it is that you see a problem, speak out. Let whatever happens, because now you don't have to fear again, because fear is something that will bond you in a cage. Fear is like a cage. With fear, there is a lot that you feel like you can't do, but it is possibly very easy for you to do it. So we should speak out. And when I speak out, Blessing here speak out, somebody else speaks out, we amplify our voice, and that is how we are heard. And that is how we even make the change. So the change starts with us, and we make the change. Yes.
That's great. And your final word?
Mine again is to the youth and fellow Kenyan citizens. Bad leadership or governance all starts from us. Let's go out there, register as voters. Let's make informed decisions, and most importantly, uphold human rights and dignity. Yeah, let's not join hands. This saying of if you can't beat them, you join them. Let's not join the government in hurting us. At the end of the day, it all runs back to us, and you're the ones, like, let's say we're the grass. Yeah, so whenever anything is wrong up there, it all runs down back to us. And it also starts with us. So let's go register as voters, let's make informed decisions, and let's uphold human rights and dignity. Thank you.
Okay, that's great, that's great. And this is Morning Life, and this is political instability and governance. And we've aired on board Kennedy Washira, Change Makers Movement, and Anne Blessings, student leader from Kenyatta University. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following us. May God bless you, and wishing you all the best as far as our subsequent bulletins are concerned. My name is Jeffrey Kimayo Somba. Till we meet again tomorrow, may God bless you. Have a great day.